darkness to the light. Death's arrive with chilling claim, whispering the ghostly name. Hear the tales for all to see. Spirited chats eternally.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Saturday night. Welcome to Spirited Chats. I don't say that enough introducing the show because, well, we figured the name of that a long time ago, and I don't think most people really care either way, right? Line up, we show up is the important part. Tonight we have 4 lovely people in the background waiting to be introduced, but I want to apologize for if I end up sneezing, coughing, or whatever. Allergies where I'm at is just horrendous. So I'll try to catch the mute mic. So if you're wearing headphones or anything like that, I don't blow out your eardrums with a sneeze. Full disclosure, I told you, you can't sue me over it. Anyways, what you gonna get, a broken down car in the driveway? You could have it. But so I'm looking for guests for future shows. So if you're watching this and you enjoy this, get a hold of me and we'll set something up. But I would like it if it's paranormal related. Don't get a hold of me if you play bingo every Friday night and you want to talk about it. It's great, but just not something that I want to do, okay? All kidding aside, let's bring our guests aboard if they're ready. Alrighty. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
How you doing?
Just battling allergies for a week now. Then I got notice today that it's going to be worse over the next few days, pollen and all that. It's like, oh, joy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You guys are not too far from me, judging by your investigations and such. So you guys must be getting ready to deal with the heat and the pollen and all that yourselves.
Oh yeah. We've been getting hit. I've been having allergies like crazy, so we got a nice dusting of yellow over pretty much everything that's outside.
Yeah.
I have a black car and it shows up pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same.
We all have one and one gray.
Well, the only time we always really care to have rain is to wash the cars, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind, feel free to go ahead and introduce yourselves and your team, because I, for some reason, was foolish and didn't do so in the introduction. So, forgive me.
Sure. I'm Lou. I started this whole thing with the kids, and it's something we all wanted to do, and now we finally are doing it.
Awesome.
So that's a great thing for all of us.
I'm Jamie. Our group is called Family Paranormal Team. We're from Rochester, New York. I help do a lot of the research on the locations that we do our investigations at. I'm Kaylee.
I'm Chelsea.
Straight and to the point. So, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you guys been a team?
Well, since January of this year. We've been wanting to do it for a long time. Never really was able to get around to it. Plus, I was in a band playing out a lot. So, and we all been busy. And finally, we said, okay, we're going to do it. So this is where we're at now.
Yeah, and we started our first investigation at Hinsdale, of all places.
Yeah.
we didn't start off slow. We just kind of jumped right into it.
Right.
So.
Well, I guess if we're gonna do it, jump right into it, and that, like I said, is one heck of a place from my understanding. I've never been.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Yep.
When we were there, we kind of missed a lot, being our first investigation that we did as a team. We missed a lot while we were there, but watching back the footage, we were in awe. We were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we caught that. We didn't catch it while we were there to kind of interact or react appropriately.
Right.
What was going on around us, but I think in our defense, we just kind of We were new.
Yeah.
We were all like super excited. You know, our energy was flowing. We were yapping and still trying to figure everything out. But yeah, that place is definitely a place. I think we're actually going back there soon.
Yeah, the 30th of this month,
yeah,
we're going back.
Next week, we're going back.
Wow, days.
Yeah, we're doing our redemption.
Yeah.
So that's going to be great.
And I wouldn't be too hard on yourself. There's a lot of people that have been doing this for years that miss a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't take that too personal.
No,
I'm sure. Yeah. So Lee Foot is a co-founder. Lee Baldwin. Lee Foot says hello. Co-founder of my group.
Hello?
Can you see the chat?
Yep. No, nothing showing up over there. Oh, over here underneath. Okay, yeah.
All right.
Hello, Lee.
And you should be able to look to your right of the screen and see the chat too, but it's been a long time since I've been on your side of the camera, or the StreamYard. So I guess nobody cares to invite me, so I just have my own show, so I could just invite myself, right?
Yeah.
So a little side note, this is the first time that we are streaming to the platform Kick. That's KIX, I believe. And so you guys are our first guest on that platform.
Oh,
All
okay,
right.
cool.
Right now we're currently on Facebook, YouTube, and Kicks. And if you plan on doing a lot of paranormal investigations and live streaming, I recommend StreamYard at least, or a platform similar to this, because that will bypass all the requirements and such that you need to go live on like YouTube or whatever. So I got a feeling by watching your guys' videos that you must be doing all right. Hello, Bud Files. How you doing, guys?
Doing.
Yeah,
So
does this stream all of them at the same time then?
correct.
Awesome. Yeah, that would definitely be a good platform for sure. Thank you for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, just reach out to me tomorrow or something, and I'll give you whatever details or whatever, and go from there. I'll see if I can help you with that. So, have you all believed in the paranormal since you were younger, or is this a new fashion? Well, I know you said you've been thinking about it for a while.
Yeah, it all started back in 1975, I think it was, when stuff started happening in the home I'm in now, which was my parents' home. And we got a lot of activity. My parents had stuff happening to them, things like that, myself, my sister. And then once I moved out, it's almost like things started following me. And wherever I moved, something would happen. And then the kids would start seeing all these things happening. And it was crazy as the years went by. And that's why we decided finally to start it a little bit late, but well, at least for me, a little bit late. For them, they can keep going.
I was about to say, they don't look like they were around in 75.
No. That's just right. It started with him, and then he inadvertently dragged us into it. So
it's a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, it's a little scary when you're younger. I think now we have more of a better grasp, I would say, on just the spiritual realm in general. We all have our own personal beliefs on how stuff operates, and we're all still learning new things too.
Oh yeah.
So our thought processes and understanding and how we interact with the spiritual world, it is constantly evolving, for the lack of a better word, I would say. And we love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still scary sometimes.
Whoa.
But
yeah, it's dangerous too for anybody who does get into it, because you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, in one video, if you watch, her being touched in the closet.
On the back of the head.
On the back of the head, yeah.
Just for clarification.
And she comes running out and still blindfolded from the Estes. I don't know how she made it jumping on the bed, and then my other daughter jumped right behind her, almost past her. But yeah, it could be pretty dangerous. you know, at the
Oh,
same time.
definitely.
But a lot of fun and scary at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
Lee, they answered earlier. They're in Rochester, New York. So that's about an hour from Buffalo, right?
Yep.
Yeah, roughly,
Yep.
I think that's a New York thing, isn't it? About an hour from everything.
Yeah.
We always say
That's
about
right.
an hour, and
Yep.
it ain't that bad of a drive.
Yeah, not that bad of a
It
drive.
ain't that bad.
Plus, of course, you start getting into Lackawanna and such during the winter, you know.
Oh yeah.
But I lived up in Jamestown is where I was born and raised, and lived in Niagara Falls stateside for a while, so
Right.
I know the area a little bit.
Mhm.
Rochester, I was never quite to though. Maybe passing through for one reason or the other, but
Right.
I think that you guys are doing well by coming down to the Western New York area, you know, Jamestown and such, Hinsdale, New York and such.
Mhm.
About the closest place that I can think of for you guys is somebody that I interviewed recently is the Sweet Home
Oh yeah.
We've been there as
Manor.
well.
Yeah, Sweet Home Manor.
Sweet Home Estate, 1812.
Estate. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm still dealing with allergies, so my mind is.
You know how long it took me to get Wildwood Sanitarium right? I still can't get it right.
We heard Westgate for
Yeah.
the month leading up to it. We go,
Yeah.
hey, that's not the name, but
Yeah.
you're so close.
Yeah.
Now, I would recommend that you be careful. Even Ed himself says his place is very aggressive, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we
we're
learned
caution.
we've been there twice and
Yeah.
we're going back next month.
Yeah.
Also, this warning falls on. So, but
Yeah,
Oh.
we caught a lot of poltergeist activity. Actually, when Jamie and Dad were there, everybody was sitting in, where was it, the living room area?
Yeah.
The whole tree in the living room falls out of nowhere.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing behind it, stuck in the corner. That
Yeah.
was the craziest thing
It's
to
like
watch.
something pulled it forward
Yeah,
and knocked it down.
wow,
Absolutely
Yeah.
wild.
It was crazy there. And then when we went there the second time, I went with Chelsea, and she wasn't feeling right when we first got there. She was feeling a little weird. And then through the whole night, she was just like in a daze. And when she went into the demon room, and she didn't put it on camera, which I wish she did, but it didn't even look like her face. It was totally different. It didn't even look like her anymore. So once we left for 3 days, she was just all messed up.
Yeah.
Something must have tried to get into her.
I did not want to go back
Yeah,
at all.
she was scared.
I'm still contemplating. I think I'm gonna give it another go, just because it'll be all of us instead of 2 people here and there. Just because being with all of them kind of grounds me a little bit more.
Hmm.
I have a little bit more spiritual and emotional security, whereas I think we went with another team, so it was just me and my dad, and we were with another team, and I don't think that helped the internal kind of situation that I was dealing with at that place. But yeah, I can say I did not feel right there
Right.
at all. And I was kind of scared to go back, a little hesitant to go back, just with how much it did affect me over the next couple of days after we had left. I hadn't experienced that
Yeah.
coming out of an investigation before, and it was a little daunting. I didn't like it. I was scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
even if you don't have something like that happen to you, there's still a fatigue after an investigation, because I'm sure you guys have experienced now.
Yep.
Oh,
We have,
Oh yeah.
definitely. It's very crazy.
So speaking of being with each other, and you got more security and such, do you think being a family unit has benefited you, or do you think there's going to be sibling rivalry? That's just human nature. So do you
Right.
think that plays the thing, or do you think that stops at the front door? Or? sorry to throw like 5 questions in one, but
No,
Yeah, no, you're
fine.
fine.
No, I think it's
I think it brings us closer.
Yeah.
And we have like not only our own family bond, but it's a spiritual bond as well that we're sharing to get all these spirits to communicate with us. That we
Mhm.
come in peace, and we're humble people, and we're family to help another family.
right.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree for sure.
You know, because it's great that they're all together. I mean, it was less communication between them all for many years, but now, man, it's awesome to see them doing what they're doing together. So it's a great
Now
thing.
we talk like what every day.
I know.
Your
Yeah.
norms.
Yeah.
I just told his next guesting. I can come back. But yeah, so that's pretty cool because a lot of teams do not have that that bond, that security. We could be like, our team is very close knit and family like, but
Yeah.
we don't truly have what you guys have a unique experience with.
Right. Sorry, Lee. We stole your question. Your next question.
He's used to it. We knew what you meant. You didn't have to correct yourself. See what I deal with?
The what?
So
Oh,
since
sorry.
he's on and talking, I'm gonna bring a personal question for him. Is who's the tech manager of the group?
Me?
I'll see you later.
Me?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
person.
It all depends on what we're doing, actually. I mean, I'm the tech manager when it comes to getting stuff ready to go set up. She does the video editing, Chelsea does. And then the other two, we, Jamie and Kaylee, we, the other two, Kaylee and Jamie, we get together and we break down the folders from all the stuff that we try to find. Yeah, evidence. So, but yeah, she's great
I
at
knew
it.
that. I knew. If you watched the Anya show or been around us for the last 15 years, this has been an ongoing thing.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah.
So it's good that you guys have defined roles, but it sounds like that they're interchangeable depending on the situation. Is it what I believe you just were saying?
Right.
Well, not necessarily. I don't think.
No.
Like, Jamie is pretty much the only one. She gets all of the history. She does all of the pre-investigation. She digs. She's the FBI agent for
Right.
all of our locations before we get there. I mean, without her, we would be going in blind.
Mm-hmm.
And Dad sets up everything. We all kind of figure out how to operate stuff, and, as we go, as we get new things. And then I am kind of at the back end, the caboose after investigations. Putting the videos together and kind of clipping everything and making sure, hopefully, that it runs and is a presentable video.
Yeah.
But we all also come in, we review the evidence. I mean, it's hours of footage because we're watching, sometimes we're there 8-10 hours.
Yeah.
We've got 6 cameras and everybody's working and stuff. So we're like scrambling. So that's kind of where we all come together in that aspect.
Right.
But everybody does have their own individual roles that we kind of commit to.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really cross that. Like, I would never look up any history on a pre-investigation history, just because I know Jamie's got that, and she delivers the information to us perfectly.
Right.
So.
And while she's editing, stay away from her.
Yeah.
You can't go near her.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm doing something. I almost had it.
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah.
I gotta run away. I go.
No.
Yeah.
I know that whole editing and hours worth, and yeah.
Oh yeah.
People stay away from me generally when I'm in the middle of doing all that.
Yeah.
So you get it.
And the whole hours upon hours, unless you're part of a team or you do it on your own, I guess you don't even have to be part of a team, but the more equipment, video and audio wise, the more you got to go through. And it's
Oh,
not just
yeah.
4 hours of an investigation. You times it by 8 or 16.
Sure.
Or-
Yep.
so
Definitely. I mean, you get a lot of hours, 40, 50 hours worth of, you know, stuff that we got to go through. And that's, it's a real pain in the ass. That's the only pain in the ass thing about it.
Well, we also just had like a mishap. Sometimes, you get equipment malfunctions.
Hmm.
This
Oh,
last
yeah.
investigation that we went on, we had 2 cameras go out separately that we didn't know were out at the time. Just stopped recording, but
Yep.
the camera was still on, and we also had some audio malfunction for
Yep.
the second half. And so trying to make sure that we get a good audio clip to put all of this footage in and kind of merge it together is
Oh, yeah.
insane.
It is.
It's a wild experience.
It really is.
That's for sure. But it's fun though. It's totally worth it. Once the
Yep.
videos are done and they're out, and we're seeing that, people are enjoying watching us, that they're learning from us, that they enjoy our personalities and how we investigate.
You
and
just got to
why-
watch out for all the F-bombs in some of our videos.
There's just a
It's only them, not me.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're work in progress.
Sometimes when you're in the middle of a situation, what can you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
We have those situations frequently,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely rewarding for us. Because like
Mhm.
Jamie said before too, we want to be able to go in there and help any spirits that are trapped or any energies that maybe need a little bit of a nudge in moving in the right direction. But I think that
this
we
is
are.
what we do
What's
when we start. This is what we put up when we start talking about
Oh, yeah.
swearing and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
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 Good idea.
Yeah. We won't do it here.
That way, keep ourselves from getting in a lot of trouble, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
True.
Yeah.
So I am definitely impressed with your videos and the styles you guys have for them, and definitely the dynamics of the group. But is there a lot of stuff that don't make it to the video that you wish kind of would have, or
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. We have a lot of outtakes that we haven't put on yet because there's so much. I mean, in the last video at Wildwood Sanitarium,
bravo?
we got destroyed over there. A lot of people said they didn't get nothing, but I'll tell you what. From what do you call it? From 8 o'clock till what time?
Right off the jump. Yeah.
Right till 3:30.
And they didn't want us to go.
They
kept
didn't want
telling
us to go.
Don't leave, keep talking, don't
Yeah,
leave, keep
yeah.
talking. So
Heather,
Hello, Heather.
we could have went a little bit longer with it, but we were just done for. We were
Oh, I
We're
know.
tired.
All of
We were
us.
tired, but it kind of slowed down after 3:30 anyhow. So, but
I wanted to
we,
go to bed.
yeah, that too. At least it was warm.
Yeah.
When we went to Hinsdale in January, we were all frozen. It was so cold, and everything. And trying to walk through the snow, there was like 2.5 feet of snow out there. So yeah,
They don't have utilities on there, or
they do, but they're running like heaters,
Space heaters.
and it's just downstairs in the living room, and I think in the kitchen.
bare minimum.
Yeah, bare minimum, and we were frozen. It was cold, but we stuck it out till 5 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and then we left. We didn't stay
Was
till
that
that.
Was that the coldest place you've ever been to during
Yeah.
investigation?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why when we go back there at the end of the month, it's gonna be warm. So
It's
we're
gonna be free. It's gonna be a heat wave. You guys
Yeah.
are gonna experience both sides of it. Oh,
Yeah.
hopefully they have AC there.
Right. But Wildwood Sanitarium was the greatest so far. I mean, total activity, non-stop. We couldn't believe how much we were getting. And of course, the girls, they were screaming because stuff was happening. I mean, dolls moving back and forth on a rocking chair. It's like, wow, it was really amazing to be there.
Be careful
We're
what
gonna
you
go back
ask for.
again. Yeah. Second floor is the hot spot. That's for sure.
Mm.
Definitely. Crazy
Now-
place.
Who brings the most energy to an investigation?
Them two. They're afraid of me. I don't know why. But these two, I'm letting them go from now on together for a while because they get the most activity starting right off the bat. Me and Kaylee, we don't get nothing.
You guys, I mean, you guys got it.
Well,
Me
towards the end.
Yeah, me and Jamie are a little bit more like clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. Like we're kind of in the thick of it right now.
Okay.
With adapting and adjusting to the abilities that we have. And so when we go in there, I mean, we'll pick up on stuff, blurt it out, and then we'll get confirmation shortly after that. It's insane.
Yeah.
What was the Elmira Historic we went to?
Oh, yeah.
Even Kaylee, we all picked up on this one specific room, and we all figured out, before the lady even came back to tell us, we all pretty much figured out what had happened, who was in there and all that stuff, other end of the hall, and we got confirmation after. And it's so cool too to get stuff like that. But when me and Jamie go in there and kind of throw out our energy, it seems to, like in those ways, it kind of seems to attract a little bit more activity. And so I think we're starting our next investigation. We're going to try to test out that theory within the next couple of investigations, test it out and kind of see if we can ramp it up, or maybe have spirit more open to communicating with us about stuff, and then kind of go from there. So stay tuned for that. We're testing that out right now.
Right. That's for sure.
Look forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
So, do you guys have the words in my mind just I want to say command center, where you have your monitors and such, or is it all pretty much handhelds and away you go?
Well, it's pretty much, we don't have a control center yet. Right now we're just doing what a lot of these other investigators are doing. We got X-cams set up, and then going handheld. That's the way we're doing it right now. Right now we don't foresee we need a control center. Plus we don't have anybody that would be able to control it right now either. So, but I think this is the best way. I mean, even the IR cameras, we don't even have those. I don't think we're ever going to need those. We'll just buy two more X cams and have them run in infrared too.
Yeah, he means like the Wi-Fi ones. That
You
can hang up.
the Wi-Fi ones. Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Like
Is that the night vision?
Right. They're all night. All the stuff we use is night vision. And I figure get two more cameras, and then we'll have 4X cams night vision. And I think that'll be good enough. Once you start getting in, because I think a lot of investigators are getting away from that. They're just using X cams. It's a lot cheaper, a lot better. As you go into other places, there's no electricity. You can't really use them unless you bring a power supply with you. So. But yeah, and a lot of places don't have Wi-Fi either. So it's better
Very
to go.
true. Very true.
Yeah.
Well, I know that I've seen that Walmart online has been offering handheld night vision cameras for $100 and some.
Oh yeah, that's all you need. If they're, as long as they're 4K and everything. The batteries that they give you, nobody use those. Put the battery in there, but buy a power pack. This way it runs forever. Because we found out again when we were at Ensdale, we were changing batteries out every
45 minutes.
Every 45 minutes, and charging and putting in new ones. Charging, putting in new ones. Go with the power pack, you can run all night long. Yep.
No doubt. Yeah, we're the same way. Setting up those couple of power banks ready to go.
Yeah, you have to. We learned the hard way.
No doubt.
Yep.
So, what's the one place that you've been to that scared you, but found out that it was kind of like one of your sisters walked up behind you, one of your kids or something, and you got so scared, but then you found out that it was natural.
We got that on TikTok right now.
On what?
On TikTok, we got that on TikTok. One of them. Yep.
That was actually at the Hinsdale house.
Yep.
Oh,
So, if you'll be so kind, while we have some people watching, if you'll give your YouTube channel name and your Facebook name and your TikTok name.
I gotta go get it. I'll be right
it's
back.
Family Paranormal Team.
Yeah, but
Our handle is Family Paranormal Team on
all
platforms.
Okay, on all of them.
Yeah, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. It's all Family Paranormal Team.
Yeah.
And it
Family
should pop up.
Paranormal Team.
Yep. Yep.
So if you want to see them getting scared, go to the TikTok Family Paranormal Team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And we got bloopers on YouTube too.
Yeah.
You know, of us screwing up.
I missed those.
Did you? Yeah, they're on there.
I'll have to go back and watch.
Yeah, there's two different separate videos on YouTube bloopers. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fun. Well, they're fun.
Yeah.
For sure.
Pretty cool. But yeah,
So
we've
if
been doing. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
We've been doing a
You're
lot
the
of
guest.
investigating now. Finally, we're planning on also next year going to Ohio to do some investigations out there. So that's something I can't wait to be doing.
Thank you, Lee.
Awesome,
And-
thank you.
And he means YouTube, because he does not have TikTok and he does not have Facebook.
Yeah, YouTube is fine.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've tried to pull him into our century, but he doesn't. I'm lucky he's got YouTube, and that's only because he wants to see himself on camera, I think. The big hand.
Right.
So what would you say to people that are looking to get into the paranormal field? Would you encourage it? Would you discourage it? What advice?
I would absolutely encourage it.
Yeah.
But always know your boundaries, because you don't know what you're walking into. And just make sure that whether you say it out loud or in your mind, that if you feel uncomfortable, you ask Spirit to kindly be nice to you, and that you come in peace, so they know that you're not there to harm them or try and disrespect them in any type of way.
Right.
Always
Go
just,
in with respect.
yep, and always say goodbye, and it was nice to meet you when you're leaving a home, that you ask that they remain, wherever you're coming from, that they remain behind closed doors.
That's right. And there's a lot of equipment you can use. You got these ghost debunkers out there, you know. And I understand a lot of paranormal people on YouTube and TV. A lot of them, they get some real good stuff, but a lot of times they fake it. And it ruins it for people like us who are trying to find out exactly what's going on, you know, out there. Is there another dimension? You know, we don't know. You know, are these real ghosts coming from dead people? We don't know. And we're trying to figure that out, and we're trying to do it the right way, you know.
Right.
But just like the equipment we use, a lot of people say that doesn't work. The K2 meters, nah, they're crazy. The REM pods, they don't work. That's all baloney. But I'll tell you what, and even what is it?
SB7.
The SB7
Spirit
box. You know, they say, oh, it's just radio stations and that people are talking. But let me tell you, you get things on there that answer you right away. And not only that, some of the answers you get, they don't even say on the radio. And the REM pods, if they go off and then they come, you know, they go on, and then in a few minutes they go off. Or if you ask a question, it pops up. You know, immediately, you know, it's not something else other than a spirit or something paranormal doing it. But that's why some of these ghost debunkers, if they can't figure it out, they'll say somebody's doing something, you know. So.
Right, definitely. And what we were accused of was one of the most dumbest things to be accused of. We were pretty new ourselves, and we had a security system, and we didn't even say it was proof. We just said it was interesting. There was
Right.
a little white dot, pretty much, that went around down the hallway, under a door, came back out, and under a different door. We just said, pretty interesting. We didn't see no dust that night or anything like that.
Right.
And people were saying, oh, that's CGI. And we're like, that's what we would use CGI for, is a little pong dot, a little dot.
I know, right.
I think we'd have dancing skeletons or, something more than that.
I know. And then a lot of these people, they say things like that and try to make it sound like you're faking it, but yet they go and use the same things when they go on their investigations. And it's okay if they hear something, oh,
No,
that's
we're supposed to believe them.
yeah, you gotta believe them, But we try to,
But
we do what we gotta do to make it real and keep it that way. So, no
definitely,
fake.
definitely.
Yep.
And so one of the most unique things that we've done was hooked our SB7 up to an FM transmitter and then broadcast it over the PA system of our local mall when we were doing investigations there. We weren't really looking for voices per se, but we were pumping out the white energy into the building to build that up. What's the most I'm happy that I came up with that because that was so much fun.
That's cool.
But is there anything that you've done that you might consider unique, or you pretty much been using the equipment like they say to?
No.
Yeah, I think we pretty much use it the same. I mean, we built a spirit box that you run the SB7 through the noise gate reverb pedals and then into the amplifier essentially, just to kind of cut out some of that that sweeping noise.
Yeah.
Because that can even get into your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But
After a few minutes, definitely.
Yeah. And Kaylee's really sensitive to that sound. She hates it. It gives her a headache. And so we try to cut that out as much as we can, just because, obviously we want her to be able to go through with the rest of the night. If we start with an SB7 and she's down for the count. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's definitely helped. But other than that, a lot of our evidence and some of our compelling footage is pretty much just as used as directed with the tech that we do have. So and it's been working great for us. I mean, we did a lot with cat balls. Jamie had really
amazing.
Great, really great yes or no communications just with simple cat balls. I mean, I think that the simpler it is, sometimes you get more.
The better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's like some of the simplest things we've done was, besides the cat toys, is stringing a bell on a doorknob because of people saying that
I was going to say that too, yeah.
Door jingles.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I want to try using balloons, let them float upside down and see if they pop. That's the next thing I want to try to do. See if we could get them to pop.
So,
Definitely.
which I look forward to you trying that.
Yeah.
Now, a little thought before you guys go into a building, if you got a little time beforehand, I picked up an FM transmitter at Walmart for $12. If you got some speakers or something that you connect them to, pump in the static from the radio into the house before you guys are in there. Because my understanding, they're supposed to be able to use that to build up some energy.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's good to know for sure. Definitely.
So that way nobody's being affected. And I suppose you could probably set up a voice recorder or video camera in case something is said.
Right.
Help amp up the energy of the place a little more. Places like Sweet's Home and such, I don't think you really need to do that. But some other places possibly.
Yeah. Like Hinsdale might need a little help here and there, but we'll see what happens this time, because it was a little frustrating for us. So we did get some evidence, but we I just lost it.
No, we got a ton of evidence.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We got a ton of evidence.
Well,
we just didn't realize it until we got back.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't catch it live.
But I wanted more, like we did at Wildwood. but either way, you know, it was just so cold there, and can't wait for the summertime where I think we're gonna do real good this time.
And you're correct, Lee. You're definitely correct. I mean, I've been making AI stuff left and right, and you know, it's very, very telling that it's fake.
Oh yeah,
big
yeah.
bright blue guy talking and singing and such. I don't think we could say that's actual evidence.
Right.
But
right.
but with AI and such, it's definitely can do a lot of stuff. Now, I was just curious about, and I've been seeing Tesla robots coming out and becoming more for like household helping and such. But I'm curious if people will start taking them for paranormal investigations.
I wouldn't doubt it. You know, I wouldn't doubt some of those people will do that. But I don't know. I mean, it's got to be pretty high too.
Well, they're saying the price of them are around $22,000.
Yeah, not bad.
Well, I don't mean to make it sound like
I know.
that's been in my piggy bank, you know. No, I didn't mean it in that sense, but in the sense of when we're thinking like the Jetsons and such, we're thinking like 500 grand easily. You know?
Oh yeah.
But I'm curious about the future of such things, you know, if that's going to be a effect or such. So moving on, if you guys will answer this individually, well, you can as a group as well. Sorry, he says he's got 4 on order now, and still be under 100 grand. Where do you guys see the future of your team? Do you see this as a long-term team, or just something when it's done, it's done?
You eventually want to do like cross-country stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And once I die, I hope they take over and keep going.
We will. We'll
Right?
absolutely.
And
will.
I'll still follow them
I'm
around.
Sure you will.
You could help them, encourage the other side to speak and such. You know,
I know.
It's just my daughters. It's okay. Go talk to them.
Yeah. Because we got a lot of equipment, and I hope they do keep going on with it. Definitely. You know, it'll be a good thing for them to keep going.
Why are you talking like you're gonna die tomorrow?
You never know. I could do.
We got plenty of time carrying on the legacy.
We got about an hour and 10 minutes. Can you last that long for me, please?
Sure. Yeah, I think so.
Good, awesome. Anybody got some coffee for him?
Right?
No, I'm good.
But so awesome. So it sounds like you guys plan on having this, and if you can make it countrywide and possibly even internationally wide, you guys see any traveling?
Eventually, I don't see it for unless we hit it big somewhere. But we're hoping maybe in another 2 years we might be able to go overseas and try some of that stuff. But this one's going to be a hard one to get on the plane unless we knock her out.
Yeah. I don't like planes.
There's plenty of medication for that.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the one location that would get you on the plane?
Good question. I'd have to really think about that one. I'm not sure. I'd like to, where's the lighthouse at? On the island.
Oh, the lighthouse on the island?
I'd like to go to Alcatraz, but that's not cross country. I'd really have to think
Which
about
one?
it. I'd like to go to Alcatraz.
Alcatraz. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like Dracula's castle or something.
Yeah.
But okay. A little closer, a little quicker trip, right?
I would love Dracula's Castle.
I would love to go there. But it's something where you got to figure out how to get in touch with people and see if they'll let us investigate out that way. But I think we're going to have to get a little bigger, a little bit more under our belt before we start traveling out that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of those places now, and this is an opinion that you guys could let me know of your opinion, is a lot of places are now what they call pay to play, as you guys are aware of Hinsdale and some of the places you mentioned. How do you guys feel about that? You think that's good, bad, indifferent?
I feel that it's fair for them to ask for a fee because it's their home, they're cleaning it,
Mhm.
they're responsible for the utility stuff. Absolutely, I feel like any place. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if I had my own, I'd probably charge a fee as well, just to cover the basics
Right.
of the property and the home.
But some
of these
places,
places are a little
a lot of outrageous
Yeah.
prices, over $1,000
Yeah.
just to
For
investigate.
4 people?
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
four,
For 4
especially
hours,
for 4
too.
people, for
It's
4
like-
4 to 6 hours for
It's like
$1,000.
Yeah, it's like $1,800.
Yeah,
Something crazy.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know.
That's kind of pushing it. That's where you're
Yeah.
like being ego driven.
Yeah, I could see no more than 500, you know, but going up to $1,000 and more, it's and for less hours too. You know, it's not worth it.
And then a lot of times they'll take an hour to talk to you about everything.
I know.
Right.
Besides, yeah, that's the other thing. So, but
So in reality, you get only like an hour and a half of true investigating.
I know. And by the time you set up and all that stuff, you know, that's another thing. And then you got to tear it all down, and that takes time too. So you're looking at what's it take us to set up and tear it down? Probably a couple hours.
2 hours.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah.
And then you hope you don't forget anything, because generally you gotta
Yeah.
travel these places.
Right. You don't want to leave anything behind. That's for sure. You know?
Someplace smaller like Wildwood or Hinsdale, you just call them up, say, "Hey, I think I left a couple things there."
Oh, yeah.
Odds
Yeah.
are they're going to be someplace like Waverly Hills or
Oh yeah.
someplace like that. They're going to be like, "We'll just throw it in the pile with the rest of the stuff."
Yeah.
And no, I'm not speaking from experience, but I'm assuming that's what they would do.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sure
they're-
they do. That's
they're
why they
on the
call a lot
larger-
of those places have rentals. So I think it's from everybody's stuff that they left there.
Yeah.
I was about to say they could probably have a little yard sale once every few months, and
Yeah.
probably make a good pretty penny off of that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
really.
So, and then the opposite side, there's a couple places I spoke to that really should be charging more from what they do. There's a place that last time I spoke to about 2 years ago, they were charging $40 a person, and there was no minimum of people to show up, and it's for 2 buildings for the whole night.
Yeah.
Right.
So you got 2 buildings, you got like 8-10 hours for $40 a person. If you had 2 people, it was only $80.
Right. I mean, that they could charge a little bit more for that.
Well, like with Ed at Sweet Home,
Yeah, it's Sweet Home.
Ed charges, what is it, $25? I
A
think, for the
person,
night.
yeah. I mean, for 6 hours, but you know.
Well, and his reasoning behind that was, I'm not here to take your money. You know what I mean? I'm here for you guys to experience the grounds, the property.
He's
the
a very
homes.
humble person.
Yeah.
Very humble person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, any money that I do get from these investigations goes right back into fixing up the house, you know,
Mhm.
working on things that might need some attention and stuff. And we thought that was actually a really cool take
Yeah.
coming from him, because he could realistically, with what is on that property and surrounding that property, he could
In
charge
the
them.
history.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and he chooses
Yeah.
not to. And
Right.
we think that's absolutely amazing as well.
Yeah.
But to what you were saying, yeah, there are some places that really could be kind of making a little bit more of a profit per
Right.
day. So
Yep.
we would have to agree with that too. But
Yeah.
on the flip side, there's we got to find like a happy medium, or medium.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so
I mean, what was it? Seymour Place?
what was Seymour?
Seymour Place out in Penfield?
Okay.
I
Yeah,
know
they,
where you're speaking of.
yeah, they only
I've
charge
heard of
$30 a person for 6 hours, I think, or that?
Yeah, something like that.
6
yeah.
hours, and they could do more than that, and that's a big building,
Yeah.
you know. But
Right.
yeah. So
I think there's one place. Hillview Manor. That's down by Pittsburgh. I think they charge a decent price. You get like several hours for $400 for 5 people.
Yeah.
And it's a huge place. I mean,
Right.
We went during a day tour, and there was like 12 people there, and we bumped into them once in a couple hours.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what's the one we plan on eventually going to? Erie Mansion?
Yeah.
Erie Mansion. And that has, how many floors is that?
There's like, there's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 floors, but
Yeah.
there's 40 rooms.
Yeah.
And they're all set up in a unique way. No room is the same.
Right.
And it's just,
And
it's
there's
amazing to walk into just to see what's even in there during the day.
yeah, it's like a maze in there, and then there's secret passages
Mm-hmm.
that
Wow.
go into the house that you don't even know about, and the basement is another maze.
Yeah.
You get lost in there. Some people do.
Was that out by you guys?
Yeah, that's
Clyde, New York.
Clyde, New York. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. And the secret passages were amazing. That he was showing us, and he's still finding more. Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
yeah. So that's something we're going to check out eventually too. Right now we're getting everything within about 100 miles right now. For now.
That's the one thing about you guys being a newer group is you have the energy to go for these places. I've noticed teams that are a little, for lack of a better word, older, they kind of slow down on that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy if you ask me, but I mean,
Why be in it if you're going to slow down, right?
right. Well, I know for a lot of people, a lot of teams, COVID really made a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
It kind of changed it from residential homes to more of these pay-to-play cemeteries, different locations like that, as opposed to residential homes. People, in my opinion, are still a little hesitant about having strangers come into their homes.
Oh yeah, definitely. You got to worry about people taking things too. That's the other big issue. But yeah, it did a lot of damage. COVID to a lot of people, a lot of things. So, but
Well, that's one benefit of an older team is less concerned about stealing stuff and taking stuff.
right.
See, as a newer team, you guys still have that reputation to build up. Like my team, we're well known in our area. We've been a team for 14 years now.
Wow.
And so we kind of locally we're kind of known.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
that
cool.
helps.
Yeah, it
I
does.
see you guys getting there and beyond, personally, in my opinion. You guys, from what I've seen of you guys, have been very impressive, and I see great things coming your way.
Great. Thank you very much.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure, definitely.
Well, I'm no psychic, so don't hold me to it. Just I've watched a lot of shows, and I've seen a lot of teams now, and so just the vibe I get is you guys will be growing to be something of a known name in the field.
Yeah, and that's what we're shooting for.
Yeah, that's our goal for sure. One of our goals as a team, I think.
It's going to be non-stop. So we're
Nice.
not going to stop.
Well, you guys definitely impressed Mike Claro. He's the one that recommended you guys to me.
Oh,
He's like,
yeah,
I got
yeah.
a perfect team for you guys.
Yeah, they're cool people. We had a lot of fun with them. It was really awesome to hang out with them.
Yeah, we did two
investigations.
investigations.
Yeah.
Two investigations with them.
Yeah.
That whole team is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and we all got along really well. They, what was cool, I think, is that they have some, not only equipment, but they have some investigation like tactics and strategies that we didn't know about, and so kind of sitting in with them, and hopefully vice versa. But just sitting in with them and kind of experiencing navigating an investigation with them, I think we were able to pick up on a couple of different tools
that we can use,
and knowledge also that we can kind of use in our investigations going further. So shout
Right.
out to Jamestown Paranormal Investigators.
Yep.
And
And we watch a lot of ghost stuff on TV to see what they do, and what they use, and then we go from there and see what we could do to better improve ourselves.
Now, here's a controversial question. Feel free to answer or not. It's not that controversial, but feel free to answer individually or as a group. How do you guys feel about para-unity? Have you heard the term?
No, never heard of it.
Okay. So basically what it is, and for a while there was a big movement for it, but pretty much paranormal teams coming together and supporting each other and being a big family. And which the concept to me is great and I like it and all, but the people that I've dealt with, the different teams and such, I've always said that it's a great idea, but it's really based on location. It's a lot easier for a team in California that's not going to be going to the same places you're going as is opposed to somebody local, is my view.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think we would be able to do something like that with people who live in that far away, right?
No, he's just saying like you're saying like just supporting the community as individual.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think like you said, on paper it's great. We try to do that. We try to network. We try to get to know other teams, and I think it's great to, like I said before, kind of bounce ideas off each other, find new locations for us to investigate on. We kind of pulled back live action. We kind of pulled back from intermingling, like investigating together with other teams, just because it does get kind of complicated sometimes with, this team has this strategy, this team has this strategy, and then you kind of throw them together, and 2 people from this group are with 4 people from the other one, and everybody's all split up, and you do get kind of, I don't want to say lost while you're doing it, but you get kind of like thrown off of your game when you're getting new stuff implemented into your investigation. So we as a team right now, being so new and fresh and still learning, we kind of pulled back from the live action coming togetherness for right now until we get a little bit more under our belt. But I think as a whole in the community, I think it's absolutely necessary to be able to support people that share your same views and have the same interests and goals and what have you.
But again, being with all these other people, other teams, and working together, it's great. But when you have a small place to work with, it's really tough, Now, if we went to like Rolling Hills and Waverly Hills, wherever, big places, then we need the teams, 2 teams to join in and investigate the whole place. But when you got a small house, we'll say like Sweet Homes, it's tough to investigate. Hinsdale, tough to investigate, if you got another team with you, because now you got 8 to 10 people and not everybody could go in the house, and there's too much noise, confusion and stuff like that. So it's got to be someplace big.
Well, heck, that even happens with larger teams. You get 8, 9 people on a team, and it goes that way.
Sure, it does.
For what? What? That's crazy word.
But we gotta stop bringing that up. We're trying to let that stuff go to the past. Make a long story short, before we were a team, we reached out to a local team and tried to get a hold of them a couple times on Facebook. They never replied or anything. Eventually, we started talking about making a team and such. And when they found out about it, they started interacting with us. And when we said the team name that we're going by, Warren Area Society of Paranormal, they said, no, you can't use that name. because our name implies that we cover the whole general area.
Oh, I've
And
heard
we're like-
that from teams. Yeah.
Well, I said, well, let's sit down and talk about this. Let's meet at McDonald's. Let's see if we could come to some kind of agreement, because they were the original team in our area. So we were trying to give a little respect for that, and their reply was, drop the name or else we're gonna sue you. I said, I tell you what, don't talk to me anymore. Send the paperwork to me or lawyers or whatever, and we'll go from that. Other than that, I'm gonna use it from now on, and we have.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of teams that have the same names out there, but plus did they have their name copyrighted? Probably not.
I don't think I think technically it has to be a trademark or something like that. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure they didn't.
Yeah.
It was just the team is no longer a team anymore, and I kind of feel bad for them because for the most part the group wasn't that bad. They just didn't like us.
Right. Yeah.
But-
So far, we didn't have that problem.
Thank goodness.
That we know of. Yeah.
Well, you probably didn't reach out to anybody before you became a team.
No, not at all.
It was kind of like a sporadic
Yeah.
spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Dad said, "You guys want to do this?" And we all kind of went,
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
there is.
Rochester is kind of a bigger area too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Believe it
there,
or not, there's not many places in Rochester that allow it.
right.
There are locations where they'll let you come for like a day tour,
Mhm.
but in my beliefs, I don't feel like Spirit's gonna speak when Spirit wants to, but I feel like during those specific hours in the evening is when Spirit is more alive. So
Mhm.
going during the day, my energy alone doesn't really pick up on much.
Right. I think that's what we found everywhere we went.
Yeah.
So far, it mostly picks up, anywhere between
11 and 1.
11 and 1. Well, 3 o'clock actually.
Yeah, it goes to 3, but it'll
Yeah.
pick up between.
11 and 1. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we
Have you
found.
guys seen other teams in your area that you've dealt with, or just kind of?
I
Yeah,
had one
'cause
local. I did paranormal investigating years before we became a group. It's like on my own with another Rochester group that no longer is a group. But that's the only other local team that I had physically met in person. But I believe they all separated and went their own ways. And I'm talking about 13, 14 years ago.
Right.
So, I mean, I wish there was more people in Rochester to have more of our local areas. I mean, there's a lot of places here that are absolutely haunted. It's just a matter of the owners allowing us to come in.
All right.
And a lot of the people in Rochester don't want that because most of them don't believe.
Right.
It's definitely an old area.
It
There's
is.
a lot of history to the area. Now, what location in Rochester, if they let you, would you want to be part of, would like to go to? Say you had the chance to be the first team.
Union Hill.
"Is it that one? The tavern?"
Union Hill Tavern,
Yeah.
the library in downtown Rochester.
The
Valen-
insane asylum.
The what?
Yeah.
The Rochester Insane Asylum.
Yeah.
Asylum.
Yeah. And what else was there? Valentine.
Valentine,
Yeah. Yeah. There's a bunch of them, but
George Eastman Theater is one of them too.
yeah. Yeah, we tried to get in there, but what they tell you?
You can only do it during the day.
Only during the day. So,
Mm.
what I don't think we'll
And
pick
the-
up much.
Well, I mean, maybe start off in the day and get
Mhm.
networking with them, and then they see you guys are not there to destroy the place or whatever, and then they might open up to further.
Right.
Yep. But everything right now, it seems to be on the outskirts of Rochester that want us to get over there and do some investigating. So that's where we're at. That's why we're in a 100-mile radius right now to do investigation.
I don't think there's a lot of places in New York that really put a lot of claims. I mean, of course, residential homes and such, but I don't hear a lot of places in New York other than, say, the Buffalo Trains place there, and
the Iron Museum.
Yeah, the Iron Museum.
What's the other that's out by Buffalo?
There's that hotel too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Buffalo, the
yeah.
hotel.
But in Rochester, on the outskirts, like Albion and what
There's
else?
a ton in Albion.
Yeah, and
Lockport,
you know
Gasport.
what some of them are?
Like Greystone Manor. There's an Albion Mansion.
Yeah.
There's the Lockport. I can't think of.
Lockport.
Yeah, there's one in Lockport. It's almost like a factory, an old factory where they built like missiles and stuff like that. So there's a lot, and I feel like a lot of it's going. From Rochester, it goes like towards Southern Tier, like Allegheny, Jamestown, all of that. And if anybody's ever paid attention to our videos, Hinsdale, Sweet Homes, and Wildwood all make a perfect triangle. So what's centered in that triangle to bring the energy to all three of these homes? That's
Curious if there's ley lines.
right.
Yep.
Yeah. So I believe the back in the day, like the natives and the Indian grounds and stuff like that, they bring a lot of power. It's just where does it start, where does it end, and which directions should we go?
Now, there's a place in Perrysburg, New York that I'd like to check out, but I don't think they let anybody. That's I believe it's J.B. Hurst Asylum.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Maybe Adams, J.B. Adams, or something along those lines. It's been a lot of years since I've looked into it, but it's a huge place in Perrysburg, New York. If I get a chance, I'll send you the name of it, and then you can dig into it. People break into it, but I don't recommend it. They from my understanding, they moved the local police station closer to keep an eye to it. So
I know.
That's what happened to the Rochester, the insane asylum up here. No, they won't let anybody go in there, not only because of the asbestos, but because people have vandalized it so bad, and it's an unsafe property. So the cops literally stay at the front door at night.
And I think it's 10, 12 stories high.
Wow.
Would have been a great place, but they won't let anybody in there. If you get in there, you're done for. The cops are all over you. Yeah.
Hi, Jonathan.
This is hello, John. This is Jonathan Myers from Crossover Paranormal Society, cops for short. You'll never. The one person that I've always found, or he likes to jump on to kind of show support. If you ever get a chance to talk with him and network with him, he is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Cool.
We met through a mutual online acquaintance, Matt Barron, the paranormal consultant, and John from Crossover set up a investigation down in North Carolina on the USS North Carolina battleship.
Oh, wow.
That was a blast.
That's
Talking about a huge place.
Yeah.
Fun to do.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, he's the one person that I never heard him speak bad. He's always pretty much got a positive energy about him. So if you ever get a chance to network with him, I know he does shows like this once in a while. Sunday nights, I believe. Jonathan, correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys are looking for another show like this, he'd be a person I'd recommend.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Really? For sure.
So I would, if you guys want, I'll try to set up a chat between the three of us and set something up.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Definitely.
He bought a little gizmo dial from Walmart that he uses on his investigations.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat little dial.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just bought one. I just bought
We're not gonna talk about it.
yeah, they don't like it because
She don't like it.
yeah, at the Wildwood there was a doll on the rocking horse that
Okay.
moved by itself. You have to actually press the button to get it to move. And that thing moved 3 times during the night on its own, playing a song and the lights glowing out of the eyes. So I ended up buying one, and I brought it upstairs and I pushed it slowly across the floor, and she went screaming.
Yeah, but you really caught it on camera.
Yeah.
That's great.
But that's something we're
You
going to
didn't
use.
have it on camera?
No.
No. I wish I
not
did.
Here, unfortunately.
Yeah, that
but
would have been great.
We did catch it at Wildwood. We did catch it. One time it went off when Jamie was just sitting there,
Yeah.
and the other, what was it, 2 or 3 times? Nobody was even in the area.
Yeah.
And that doll's not motion censored. We tried everything we
To
could
get it to
do,
move.
jumping,
Yeah.
moving around, stomping, dropping
Yeah.
stuff. You have to physically press the
Yeah.
button on the arm. And
Yeah.
it's like holding on to. Yeah, so that was pretty neat. So yeah, he both buys one just to scare us.
I told him it's supposed to
Well,
ride.
I mean, that's what dads are for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Going with us. Another thing.
Now, yeah, I had something in my mind and it went up just as quick.
Yeah. I get that a lot.
Must be the age, right?
Yeah, it is.
So, speaking of equipment and such, what's your what's your favorite piece of equipment?
I love Estes.
Yeah.
I'm an Estes freak.
Yeah.
I'm like, any chance we get to do, somebody gets to go under, I'm there for it. I just feel like we get so much channeling through is so much easier than 4 people trying to make out one word or 2 words or phrase, and sometimes you hear different things. But the channeling aspect where you are completely deprived of your senses, you don't hear anything, you don't see, you kind of just like get into this weird Zen space, and all you're focused on is what's coming through, and we get a ton of like really just active responses to specific questions that it wouldn't be something that you would hear on the radio.
Right.
So that's my personal favorite. What about you?
I love the music box.
Yeah.
The music box is my favorite
yeah.
thing to
The
use.
music
Drives her
Yeah.
crazy.
for sure.
What about you?
Love that.
I have to agree with Chelsea because you get into everything that's just what you need to listen to versus what everybody else is focused on. You just kind of, your brain shuts off to the outside world for a moment and goes into the spiritual world.
Yeah. Me, I like the tripwire because I always step on it and I fall, and I walk back and I step on it and fall. But no, tripwire I love the most.
We do also use, just to answer your question, we do also use, I don't know if I'm going to say it wrong, necrophonic.
Natural, yeah.
Necrophonic.
That's a
I was
cool
gonna bring that up.
Yeah, we do like that also.
Yeah.
We've gotten some pretty neat. I know there's a lot of discourse with phone apps.
Yeah.
But for us, I mean, if it works for us and we do get intelligent responses, again, that's something that you wouldn't hear generally coming out of a phone.
And you do. I mean, you get, you know, I didn't believe in the apps. You know, there's a lot of them that are junk out there, the phone apps. But this one seems to hit it right on. When we say something, it answers.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, we bought a, what do you call it?
Speaker.
A big speaker amp type of deal. And we hook it right to it, and it's amazing what you get out of it. And we get great responses out of it. I mean, I think so far that's probably one of the best ones out there that, you know, we've tried. And we've tried about 6 or 7 of them, I think. And this is the best one so far. And we got that from Sisters of the Dead that we did an investigation with. And I mean, it worked great for them, and it's working great for us too.
And we were super skeptical about it.
Yeah.
Before we used it, we were super like, oh, you know, it's a phone. How is it gonna?
Yeah.
But But I think we're convinced. I mean, sometimes, and we're not saying this is dead concrete evidence. We're just saying it's working for us. We're getting responses, and we're going to keep using it until we feel like it's not really a value
anymore,
or if we could debunk something with it.
Right.
I was about to say, personally, my view is whatever works. I don't care if it's this little piece of plastic or $1,000 piece of equipment. Whatever works.
You know, and I don't think you have to spend so much money on these items either, but you're getting really good responses off of the cheaper stuff. Instead of spending $500 for a chat box, you could get one for $100, and it does the same thing. You know, it's amazing. You know, I mean, our music box does the same thing as the $300 one, and we picked it up for
you're the dollar.
$65.
You're the tech guy.
Yeah.
You're the tech guy.
And it does the same thing, and it's the greatest. You know, same as the tripwire. Why spend $300-$400 when you could get it for about $80? You know, somewhere else.
I would say that for anybody that watches this and watches the replay, do not put the words ghost hunting in a Google search when you're looking to buy equipment, because that's going to add another $100 to $200 to your.
For sure.
You could get some cheap EMF detectors and such on Temu.
Yeah, right.
I bought some stuff from Temu and come just fine.
Yeah, even
sure.
even Etsy, you know.
Etsy.
What?
Etsy.
Okay, I'll let them say it because I get it wrong every time.
Etsy.
Yeah.
I bought not off Etsy but off TikTok. I found something and I took a chance. Not too expensive for REM pod, but it's called Tim's REM Pods. I believe he's still in business. Have you heard of him?
No.
So what he does is he takes the innards of a REM pod and put them into different stuff. What I got personally was a Ecto 1 Ghostbusters car. And the lights for the sirens and all that, all that. Yeah. So he's got Scooby Van and all that kind of stuff. I found him on TikTok. Tim's REM Pods. Cool. And so, I mean, I spend a little more than what I really cared to on such things, but sometimes you just got to.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes you do. You know, I still would like to get the Ovilus, you know. Yeah. But, you know.
Well, we got that spirit chat, and it
really does work great. Yeah, it does work great. And that was only $120 instead of $599, you know. And it works the same, but, you know, I still kind of like the Ovilus. But I'm not
a big fan of the Ovilus.
No?
No, I feel that the word bank is too generic. And my understanding is you could add words to it. And now I don't know if that's sure or not. That's what I hear. I never had one to say. Right. But if that's the case and you start adding words, it kind of could set you up for,
faking
if
it.
you're inclined to fake stuff, that is. I'm not saying you are.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you guys are or I am or anything, but I just don't like it.
Getting one now.
Oh yeah, we didn't know that. But we got a spirit chat, which is a similar, totally different, but similar like technique where it has a word database. And we got that off an engineer off of Etsy.
Yeah.
And so it's almost cool to also, pay a person for their business rather than, go online like you were saying and spend $500 at this huge company that
supports small business.
Exactly. See, now my brain stopped.
Yeah.
But that was pretty neat for us too, and it's worked really great for us, that spirit chat.
Yeah.
I don't know who the seller is off the top of my head. That would probably be
I don't
nice
know either.
to drop
I
in
got
there,
him as
but-
a follow. I follow him and he follows me.
Well, I was just saying to kind of mention it here just in
Right.
case anybody was looking, but
Right. But that's a good place to get a lot of stuff.
yeah, and if anybody does want to look into any type of equipment that we have, I mean, we can always be reached on Facebook and TikTok and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
So, if you guys have any
And
questions.
all their social media is Family Paranormal Team, in case you missed it earlier.
That's
Even
right.
our website too. Yeah.
So do you feel, and I personally think that every team should have it, but do you feel the person that does the history of location is definite on a team, or do you think a lot of places kind of go without?
No, we need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kind of like pre-investigation in the history. I'm telling you, she can dig up anything. She will cross-reference deeds. Like she is like on it, seriously, private investigator style on these houses. And
I feel sorry for your significant other.
It's, I mean, for us specifically, maybe it's not like this for other teams, you know, every team has their own dynamics, but for us specifically, we value that top-notch, top-tier.
Right.
We found a lot of information out for certain locations that you can't find just by typing in or even talking to somebody that works there. I mean, she's brought up certain points. I can't think off the top of my head right now, but she's brought up certain points to the groundskeepers. Like, hey, what about this? And they're like, how did you know that? You know what I mean? And so that, I mean, for us, it's really important.
But then again, you got to watch out on the history too, because some of it isn't true what it says on the history. You know, if they say, 20 people died on this land, and then when you get there, nobody died on the land.
Yeah, and she's really good at that. Jamie's.
So, yeah.
I will say I am stumped on Sweet Homes, and I feel Ed's frustration at times because he's not getting all the answers that he needs. And I've been trying my hardest to get more and more information. I'm still collecting more to give to him. But that I will say that is a tough spot because that town never really was the name of that town. It was always considered, oh my goodness, I'm drawing blank. I see the problem.
It's contagious.
Yeah, but it wasn't always.
You started it.
It wasn't always the town of Fillmore. Fillmore created itself, and it's not very large. It's a small area, so it's kind of like now we got to go outside of the box. So I will say that place is the only one that I'm still stumped on. And my goal is to get more information before we go back in July to maybe give to Ed and see if any of it will help him.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Now, if you're on a location for like giving day tours or whatever, are you quick to point out their misinformation, or do you just kind of let them go with their tour and just say,
Oh, we don't.
Yeah, we'll say, this isn't what we heard, or this is what we did our research on. What we will call, if you want to call them out on it, and just say, what's facts and what's not.
Right, and once they answer us the right way, if another team goes there, they put it back to the old way.
No, that was only one spot. We're not going to.
No, I know that. I'm just saying.
We're not putting anybody on blast right now.
Yeah.
It happened one time.
Yeah.
So we don't want to get it. We don't want to.
But it should just be.
okay, they probably not watching.
Yeah. It's got to be true facts, all the way around for everybody. I mean, the place
as much as possible.
Is haunted, but let's make it real.
Right. I would love for you to dig up the history of the. Well, it's no longer a mall. We got some of the history to the place, but the Warren, Pennsylvania Mall has the property itself has a pretty deep history to it. It'd be nice to see how much of it connects and how much is not. So maybe one of these days we'll get you guys down here, and we actually do some investigations in the back parking lot at night. We get over the spirit box. We get a voice of a guy that a few times we've been there, he's called himself Michael, and it generally starts off with two younger girls trying to talk over the spirit box. And all of a sudden, it gets kind of dark, heavier presence, and they'll stop talking, and he'll come in. And I believe we heard something to the point where he said he won't let them talk.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
we're kind of curious where that comes from.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
other than that, there's been all kinds of fun stuff. Well,
Yeah.
not fun, but like
Cool.
there's some misunderstanding of at one point when it was the property was the refinery that we have here in the city. At that time, they were able to employ young kids and such, and there's some rumor or some discussion about how a couple of these kids passed away. Did they pass away in the fire that happened there, or there's some talk that they got ran over by the fire truck that came there? So
Oh, wow.
it's kind of like,
Yeah.
so
Jeez.
it's a pretty interesting plot of land.
Wow. That'd be interesting to check out too. For sure. Definitely. Cool. That's awesome.
At one point, I had full access to the building. Now it's a strip mall, so we only get the parking lot now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they don't let anybody in there, huh?
Well, we haven't talked to the individual stores, because, well, now they're individual. Like I said before, we had access to, when it was an enclosed mall, I knew the maintenance people. I was a maintenance person at one point and such, so we had a lot of access to the empty storefronts, the service hallways, the main corridors after it was closed. That's
Wow.
how I was able to hook up the spirit box to the PA system, was
Right.
because,
Jeez.
so too bad you guys weren't around at that point, because I think you guys would have had a blast.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, we're going to be around for a long time. So, anything comes
Do you
up, let us know.
Do you guys do cemeteries?
We haven't yet. We've been talking about doing
They
some.
have not yet. So they're
I would like to.
Kaylee had gone with me to one of them show down the street.
I'm not
I
personally
would like
keen
to.
on it, but
I would like to.
yeah.
There's 2 cemeteries in Jamestown general area. One I get picked on all the time because I go there quite a bit, or I've had in the past, is Guernsey Hollow in Frewsburg, New York. That's got a long history of activity, and one that's not very well known is Moonbrook, or the road is Moonbrook. It's a Hollenbeck Cemetery, Moonbrook Road in Jamestown, New York, and very small, very, very small. But that place is one time our car actually got possessed. We had to have it blessed.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that was my fault. I didn't say a prayer or anything. Hooked the spirit box up to the stereo. We were sitting in the car questions. And to make a story that a lot of people have heard on this channel, towards the end of us dealing with all the craziness with the car afterwards, the car stereo, we took it to the garage. They said, yeah, we'll look it over. Give us like an hour or so. About 10 minutes later, we get a call saying, it's done. Come get it. We're like, that's pretty quick. So we, instead of going in to eat at Arby's, we just did the drive-through, and because I had my car. But anyways, when we got there, they like, take your car. We can't figure out what's wrong. Don't ever bring it back here again.
Wow.
Dang.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but they didn't want nothing to do with it. So we had our friend, our spiritual advisor, bless the car, and we never had a problem after that.
Wow. See?
Yeah. Perfect solution.
Yeah, definitely. So crazy. Unreal.
And that's, like you were saying earlier, that it can be a dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, like what happened to her. It's like, gotta watch it. You know? Don't want nothing getting into you. It's a bad experience, right?
Yeah. Well, in general, nobody knows you don't know what you're walking into.
Yeah.
Even if you know the history, even if you have been there before and you've experienced paranormal activity, you don't really know what paranormal activity is at its core.
Yeah.
And so, just mystery. It's all mystery, realistically.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it can be daunting for sure.
Yeah, it sure can.
Yeah, I think we've learned to go in a little bit more cautiously to certain spaces, or when we are all feeling in certain ways, we kind of react differently and change the trajectory of how we're investigating that night. And again, it's something that will kind of evolve with us as we continue to grow and go to new spaces and encounter different types of paranormal activity, different types of entities, and have all these different experiences. So.
Right. Yeah.
Now, you've been to a couple places a few times, and I know us personally, we felt it. Would you say that the couple places that you've been to more than once have different energy since you've been there, or does it feel like the same time every time?
We've never really gone anywhere twice yet.
Okay.
Other than
Well, I know you said you're coming up to a place on the 30th. That would be the Hinsdale house.
Yep.
Okay.
This home in general, our father lives here, so he always has experiences here no matter what.
Right.
He's gone to Sweet Homes twice. I'm not sure if he's felt anything from each time that he's gone there.
No, they're afraid of me. Everywhere I go.
I will give a little advice. You guys haven't had a chance to experience yet, by the sounds of it. We've been to a couple places, 2 places now that I can think of, where we were there 3 or 4 times. Nothing happened, nothing major anyways. Little shadows and things like that. So we got comfortable and we didn't do all the stuff that we needed to do that we normally did. And the last time we went, things got a little not great. We'll just put it that way. So I recommend that you guys follow your pattern every single time, even if you've been to a place 3 or 4 times, because even if it doesn't seem like you haven't got anything or very little, sometimes it's the 4th time.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm definitely speaking from experience. I've gotten physically hurt, and to the point where seemed to be a pretty dark entity on the one place, where we just stopped the investigation right then and there, said we're done because things were getting bad. Lee has a question. Have you ever had an experience that scared you?
Yeah, she did.
Well,
definitely.
It's normally me.
Well, that's right. Everybody, her too.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you don't know.
Yeah.
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 Mine wasn't very much I guess it was a spiritual encounter. However, when they made the dog go off, that, he had also purchased just to kind of toy with me a little bit. But that was my scare of most places of all right now, was the down on the rocking horse.
Yeah.
Going off on it right next to my leg.
Well, and Jamie's been doing this for a lot longer too, so she's kind of used to
different things happening.
Yeah, reacting and kind of taking that in.
Yeah.
And me and Kaylee are out the door. For
Run!
The first instance that me and Kaylee had, we were at Hinsdale. I was doing Estes. Kaylee was outside, recording the session, and something touched me. I've never had this happen to me before, and I don't let my boundary with spirit when I go into a place is don't touch me.
Right.
You touch me, I'm out of here. and you can mess with somebody else because it's not me.
Yeah.
I got touched on the back of the head, and I think actually Dad might have told the story earlier, but it scared me so bad. I had my blindfold still on, and I was running out of the closet. Didn't know where I was going. That wasn't safe, but I couldn't get the blindfold off my face. So I had the headphones on. I'm scared. The thing's dragging behind me. Keely's, running with her blanket on. That was a terrifying experience.
And then the other one at Wildwood.
And at Wildwood, just our most recent one. And this is all on our YouTube also because they're just fun to watch. After the dowel, I think it was after the dowel went off, we had kind of recouped and started continuing our investigation, and the door latch and the music went off, and the music box went off at the same time, and I'm the only one in this room that's happening. Everybody else is over in the other room, and I split.
As she ran, the doll started rocking back and forth again too.
Yeah, in a complete
separate room.
So the door latch went off, music box went off, and then in a completely separate room, the doll got triggered somehow, and I think the whole neighborhood probably heard us all scream. So, I'm a little bit. I'm the reactive one. Unfortunately, I'm trying to work on that, but yeah.
Who's the prankster of the group?
100%.
I have to once in a while.
100%.
Yeah,
that's Dad all the way.
Yeah, if they're listening and everything's quiet, if I have a screwdriver or something, I'll throw it right over to them, and they get screaming, you know. But
or jump outside behind a dark corner and jump out at us. And like, dude.
Yeah. Well, you gotta keep things lively.
Oh yeah. And we
I know. Go ahead. I know one case on our team, big building, an old armory, and it had a dirt basement and such, and Lee was not supposed to be part of the investigation. He said he wasn't able to make it to this investigation, and so he sends me a text message saying, hey, I can make it after all, but let's have some fun. Sneak me in. Yeah. So I got everybody to the front of the building. I let him into the back. He gets down in the basement, and you know where the firing range is and all that. He's way in the back, and it's all dark. And and I'm bringing the different group members down, and he's down there throwing pebbles and saying, and getting everybody's reaction. One of the members, I sort of got if he didn't get his feet wrapped up in some plastic, he probably would have never touched the floor and was gone. He was ready to go.
Right.
But, something slowed him down enough to where he kind of stopped and said, what do you think that was? And I'm doing my best not to bust up laughing because I know what it was.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So, you have to have fun. If you don't have fun, then it just doesn't work.
No. Hey, Scott, I think we might have to wrap it up because a few of the girls got to get out of here. So.
You can stay out.
Yeah, not a problem. I was a few minutes away from getting to that point anyways. I was going to ask, hopefully you guys had a fun time tonight. And
it was.
I'm definitely hoping that you'll come back for another time.
For sure.
We would love to.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
We'll have more stuff to talk about for sure.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all. You guys seem like you're high octane, ready to go, knock down doors every other weekend if you can.
Oh yeah,
right?
we're all excited for the 30th of this month, so we're ready to go. Oh, you like it?
He's got like 12 of them.
Well, there you go.
I got 38 guitars. Our band's name is Dr. Jekyll. So we got a CD out and just came out with another CD called from my old band that I redid because everybody passed away, called Ruby. So we got 2 CDs. Yeah. So.
Hook up the spirit box to one of those and let it play.
I know, you're right. I know, that's for sure. So.
Be a spirit house.
Yeah, spirit house.
So. Yeah, it definitely was a pleasure having you guys on. I'm sorry that it took so long to get you guys here. A lot of this and that happened the last few months.
Yeah, we understand. All is well. We're here now. We had a great time. We appreciate you inviting us on.
Sure, definitely.
For sure.
Appreciate everybody in the chat too.
Yeah,
thanks for
guys.
stopping by and everything. So
this is recorded. It'll stay out there forever and until the platforms die. So, like I said, I believe you can log back in and download this for your channels or whatever.
Okay.
Perfect.
if you have a problem, let me know. We'll figure something out.
Okay, and where do you send it to the webpage or a Facebook thing?
Yeah, I just said thank you.
It'll download to your hard drive.
I'll get it for you.
Not the tech guy, right?
She's the boss.
Yeah. Lee says thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
So, you guys have a wonderful night. Reach out to me tomorrow. I'll tell you a little bit about StreamYard and such. Answer any questions you might have. When I'm done with this live, feel free to see if you could download it or whatever, or wait till tomorrow, whatever. And we'll go from there. So thank you guys. Nice meeting everybody.
Yes.
And have a wonderful night.
Have a great
Thank
night.
you.
See you all.
Have a good one.
All right.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
All right, guys. Definitely a great group. That's going to be. I feel personally that they're going to have a big presence in the paranormal world. So run over, don't wait, run over, click subscribe, follow them on TikTok. So all the fun little things that they don't put on their YouTube, you get to check out, all the little pranks and little things like that. And so make sure that you do that, because I feel like you're going to be disappointed when they're these big stars and you're just saying, oh, I wish I would have. So, but I'm not going to ramble on. So I am looking for guests for next show in 2 weeks. So drop me a line and we'll figure it out. Okay, guys? So everybody stay spooky, my friends.
Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping down and appreciate the visit. I'll get the hell off of my porch. We'll see you the next time. Come on back.